Hello, 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 everyone. This is Waylay Nayo, and I am back with another episode of Becoming a Diamond, my Muay Thai journey. That sounded so weird. So I'm back with episode 3 of Becoming a Diamond, my Muay Thai journey. And today I wanted to talk about my martial arts experience that I've had throughout my 26 years of life and how it is kind of factoring in or playing a part in my Muay Thai journey right now, and just different aspects about how it's affected me as a person and how it has affected the way I approach Muay Thai and just kind of approach life in general, maybe. So we'll get started. So the martial arts experience I've had in 5th and 6th grade, I think that time I was in Taekwondo. I made it to be an orange belt. Thank you very much. 8th to 10th grade, I was in karate, red belt, pretty impressive. High school and into adulthood, the past few years, I practiced Tai Chi, no belts. Tried to teach myself Tai Chi in high school. I'll tell you about that later. But yeah, so that has been like the 3 main martial arts experience I have had. I've always liked martial arts, even if other people didn't know it. I really like, especially in movies and stuff, I love hand-to-hand combat and stuff. Like, just give it to me all day, please. I remember as a kid, my mom let me watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's one of the best movies ever, directed by Ang Lee. It is amazing. So, martial arts has always been very cool, to say the least, and I've always loved it in some form or another. And so I kind of wanted to break down like what my experience has been like with the 3 Taekwondo, karate, and Tai Chi, and how, again, it affects the way I approach Muay Thai today. So Taekwondo. So again, 5th and 6th grade, 5th, 6th, or 7th grade, I don't know. So I kind of started on a whim. There was a Taekwondo place in my neighborhood, not too far from my house. We had driven past, and I was like, oh, I want to try it out. So, my parents let me try it out. I'm always a kid who just loved to try new things. Now, whether if I stuck to them all the time, well, we won't go into that. So, it was a class I was in, like the preteen class, which is always so much fun, doing physical exercises with other preteens, both girls and boys. That time when your body's going through changes, like everybody's body is going through a change. Some bodies smell better than others. I'm not going to, name any names because I can't remember any of them, but anyway, so that was, great for my social anxiety. I really liked the teacher. He was Korean himself. He had gone to the high school that I eventually graduated from. He was a very laid-back guy, like always had like athletic wear on. I remember he wore a ball cap. I cannot remember his name. But again, I had a lot of social anxiety, and I didn't always feel comfortable being around others. And again, that's just kind of like, 1, like my nature and my mental health history. 2, like just being like a preteen teenager in general. So that was hard in trying to learn. And then, I think I did pretty well. I like to do sports and activities, when I was a kid. I was never like the best, and I still will never be like the best or the greatest that ever was. But, I think I was pretty good. Like I was proficient enough, I'd like to think. So then I remember my first test. So this was me going from a white belt to a yellow belt, and you have to take a test. And so you have to demonstrate the forms that you do, a little bit of sparring, and then I'm trying to remember what I had to do. It was a while ago. And then breaking the board, the infamous breaking of the board in martial arts schools. So excuse my language, I fucking sucked at breaking boards and during that test. I don't know what the hell it was, but I just could not break that damn board. And it was just embarrassing. I'm trying to do it so hard, and I was pretty good at the other stuff. I could do that. I just can't kick a fucking piece of wood and break it. I just couldn't do it. And I felt bad. And it was like, other people are there, and I just feel so stupid. I can't break a board. And I think I had to kick it, too, and I just could not, I don't know. Eventually I did it, like, at the very end, like, okay, like, just kick the fucking board, but, so I did that, and so, stayed with that for a couple years. One of the problems, and that, like, led me to leaving was that, I don't know if he lost the space or like somebody bought it out and he was trying to find a new one, so we were practicing at like a church for a little bit, and then like I don't really know what happened to this guy. I hope he's doing well. He was very talented, he was very nice, he worked very well with kids, but it was just like that, like running around and like, okay, like where's this person gonna be? Eventually I did take another test and got my orange belt, thank you very much, and I think I did break the board first try, so that was progress. So yeah, by the end, so I have an orange belt in Taekwondo, so yay for me. I wonder if I can do a sound effect for that. Okay, sorry, I am so sorry, I've never tested that. So yeah, that was me cheering for myself. Now it's awkward. So Taekwondo, first time really like punching and kicking, doing any of that martial arts experience. Overall, I lacked a lot of self-confidence, and I don't think Taekwondo necessarily helped me gain any, especially that board breaking, but, it was an experience that I had that has made me into the person I am today, and, I did enjoy it, but I think just the whole not having confidence really affected me, and I think it affects any and everyone, at any point in their lives, especially when you're a teenager, a preteen, and trying to figure yourself out when everything in your body and mind is going haywire. So yeah, that was Taekwondo. Next one, karate. So, karate this time in my life was pretty special in a way. So, my mom started going to a dojo. It was run by, I'm not going to mention his name. I just don't want to, like, give people away. It was ran by this man who was Black, African American, and I had never in my life like been around like martial arts practitioners who were Black like me. So my mom started going to the morning class during the summer, and then she brought along me and my sister, and so it was like a mother-daughter's bonding thing of learning martial arts, and it was nice to be in the adult class because it was easier to pay attention because there's not like other kids your age that are bothering you or, like, you're distracted by. Like, it was nice to be with adults who, like, wanted to learn. So that really helped me a lot. I had way more confidence in my abilities during my time doing karate. I broke multiple boards. Like, I think I broke one day, like, 2 in one day. So, like, hey, improvement. Like, doing the kata, which are the fighting forms, I still was not great at sparring. In fact, my first test, we had on like different like pads, like head pads, feet, and like little like boxing pads, and like not really like gloves, but protective gear. And I was sparring another girl who was about my age, and she fucking punched me in the mouth. And, like, the thing was, like, you really weren't supposed to, like, hit anyone. And it's, like, it was, like, looking back on it, it was so irresponsible what they did. But, like, you have, like, multiple people, like, sparring, like, kids from, like, 5 to 14 or whatever, like, on different parts of the mat. Like, there's no way that you can, like, fully, like, concentrate on one person and make sure everybody's following the rules. So I got punched in the fucking mouth. Sorry for my language, but that's just how it's going to be. So besides that, I had a lot of confidence. So then I stopped for a little bit, and I went back to karate, this time like without my mom and my sister. And I was like 16 at the time, and because during the summer I was doing the morning classes, which were like primarily adults. Well, of course, when school started, I can't do morning classes because I am not an adult and I have to go to school. So I ended up doing the evening classes, and I thought like evening adult classes. Well, apparently adult can mean a 5-year-old at this dojo. Like, it could be anyone. There really wasn't like any like strict, like, these are for kids, teenagers, like adults, that breaking down, so you can practice with people your age, so you can learn the things you have to learn and like be able to pay attention. So there were a few times where I was sparring, and you can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes, with like a 6-year-old, and I'm 16, because like there was no structure, and it was just like, I've now learned, diving in more to like the online martial arts community, it was a McDojo, and McDonald's, a dojo, take with that what you will. Just like, let's pass as many kids as possible, have them take tests, and then just spend a ton of fucking money for them to go there. Again, I get like people need to make money. They have their businesses and their jobs, but I mean, I guess quality over quantity, but that doesn't always make money, unfortunately. So again, not trying to hate, but yeah, so I ended up getting a red belt at that time, and I fell out of it, just feeling like, I got into other things as a teenager, and then also just like, I can't fight a fucking 6-year-old. I can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. Now, getting older, there have been some 6-year-olds where I'm like, I'm not saying I would ever fight them, but like, they're kind of mean. Anyway, I would never hit a kid. Ever. So yeah, karate, the story of that is, I ended up with the red belt, still lacked a lot of confidence in the sparring and contact with the sport, but really liked the kata, the forms, and doing that, and felt a lot of confidence there. Number 3, Tai Chi. So, Tai Chi, it's kind of funny. I had heard of it before. It's like, oh, the people in the parks doing the slow flowing water-like movements. And so my grandma Janice, she had talked about wanting to learn Tai Chi, being an older woman in her 70s, like, perfect age to do it, even though anybody can do Tai Chi at any age. So one day I bought a book, and it's actually in the other room from where I'm recording. It's like the how-to dummies book, like how to do Tai Chi for dummies. So it's like a Tai Chi and Qigong book for dummies. So I was the dummy. So I started reading that, and it had like a DVD disc. And I think the issue was, so I was trying to they had in the book, and I still had the book with the receipt from when I got it 10 years ago. I think 10 years ago this month, actually. So they had different pictures and diagrams of the moves so you can follow along the book. Well, it's not always easy to do that, especially when you're a new student. You need to watch someone do it. And so they had a DVD that came with the book, and I tried to follow it, but I think the DVD stopped after one lesson, and so it was it didn't really teach me a lot. So yeah, so I tried to teach that to myself. It didn't work out, and I liked it. I offered to teach my grandma, but me not knowing anything, why would she take anything from me? So, I fell out of it, a lot of things. But I still kept the book. For some reason, I just had the book. I don't think I took it with me when I went off to college for a semester, but I just always had the book with me, and I still have it on my bookshelf. And now it's just kind of a special artifact for my life, this random book that calls me a dummy because I don't know how to do Tai Chi, or I didn't know how to do it. So within the past few years, for the past few years, I've gotten back into Tai Chi. I've actually been to a class and learned from an instructor, and have started working on certifications, because I realized I would like to teach people Tai Chi, especially as I gotten more into my mental health advocacy work, which is something that I've kind of been doing on and off. My life is weird. My life on and off is pretty much the definition of my life. When I write a memoir of some kind, it's just going to be called On and Off. Let me actually write that down. So, on on and off the Waylay Nio story. Besides the point, so I've gotten some certifications, still keep in touch with my teacher. He moved away but has come back to where I lived a couple times, and like we meet up as a group, and there's still like some online Zoom classes which I should go to more often to be in that community. So Tai Chi has like really helped me over the past few years with my mental health. And one of the big things from Tai Chi and Qigong, I'm actually thinking about starting a podcast about that, because I'm just going to do a podcast about everything in my life that I love or have a passion for. And so, it's really helped me with learning how to be on a journey. It is not just about results, and this is not for all martial arts or all martial arts practitioners, masters, teachers, instructors. The ones that I went to, sometimes it felt like you need to hit these goals. Like you're going to get yellow belt, orange belt, red belt, just like you need to get all these belts, black belt, ultimate goal. That's what you're focused on. And it's like, okay, having goals is great. It's amazing. It keeps you going. But it's like in between those goals, there's still a lot of life to be lived. There's still a lot of things to learn. And so in my martial arts experience with like karate and some of the different schools I was in, like I didn't feel not enough focus was on the journey. And I feel like learning from other people and seeing their stories online, like those who really take it seriously, like it is about the journey. Like, of course it is about like progressing through like the belt system and everything, but it's like it's not just about that. It's an everyday thing. Your life is a journey. It's an everyday thing. It's just me repeating myself. I crack myself up sometimes. So like Tai Chi really taught me how to look at my life that way. And like, it's not about results. Like if you just focus on the results, life isn't going to be enjoyable. There's so much to learn in between the goals and the results. So how do Taekwondo, karate, and Tai Chi come into me learning Muay Thai over the past about 4 months? So all the martial arts I have taken, even when I didn't realize it, have helped me with my self-confidence and personal development like they should, like other arts and sports and other processes should do for you, is helping you with your self-confidence and your personal development, developing as a person, becoming a better person or becoming a healthier person. And so when I was going into finding a Muay Thai school, because I had some of my good and also not so good experiences from other martial arts schools, I knew what to look for more. Like, okay, like, are there specific adult classes? Like, what is the breakdown? What is the cost of things? Like, how are you, like, how is your testing? Like, what do you, probably just repeated myself. Like, what does success look like in this school, in this gym? And so, because before I started going to Muay Thai, before I found the gym, I was looking at a few different schools, and there was one I went to, and on the website, it said specifically an adult. Well, here's the thing. First of all, I had seen and this school wasn't far from where my dad lived, so where I grew up at. And it says karate, like a huge sign on it's like a strip mall, which, yeah. So you see this big just karate sign. Karate. And so on the website it says that they teach karate or karate or so I go in, I call the guy and said, I'm interested in your adult classes. Oh yeah, great, come by at this time I think I called him on a Friday, went in on a Monday. And so I get there and there are a ton of kids. And, they're kids, so they're running around, they're loud, like being kids, which is okay. I was never like that, but whatever. So I sit down in his office, and So I asked him about, like, oh, like the adult karate classes, like, when do those start? And he's like, oh, well, you know, everybody of all ages, we learn in the same room. Like, we have the kids in the back, then the teenagers and the adults, like, all just in one room, quote unquote, learning. Turns out he wasn't teaching karate, he was teaching Taekwondo. So, first of all, your sign on your website is lying, and you don't have adult classes. Another lie. So I was just like, I told him, like, yeah, let me think about it. I'll call you back. Plus, he was charging like $300 a month for like taking 2 classes a week, which is bullshit if I'm paying that much money to learn with children. And so I was like, he's like, yeah, you're gonna call me? Yeah, sure. Never called him. A few days later, found the Muay Thai gym, started there. I don't need to call you. So, and then he said, oh yeah, and sometimes we do parades. Like, we do parades in like some of the suburbs. Like, you can be in a parade. And it's like, I am 26 years old. I don't need to be in a parade of any kind. I don't want to do it. No parades. So yeah, that was another thing that factored into me joining Muay Thai. Another thing with having some martial arts experience was that I knew a little bit about punches and kicks, but Muay Thai is so much more intense than what I was learning. Not saying like just more intense in general, but maybe it is. I think there can be powerful and talented people in any discipline, but from what I was learning, from what I remembered, because it had been a while since I had taken like I've been doing Tai Chi, but like a karate or a Taekwondo where it's like actual like sparring and stuff. So it had been a while. But so I had some knowledge that helped me a little bit in Muay Thai. So, the past experiences that I've had, both good and bad, have helped me to get where I am today, not just in Muay Thai, but in life in general. And so, everything has an effect on what I do today. And like I said before, it's all a part of my journey. My Muay Thai journey of becoming a diamond, it probably started back in 5th or 6th grade when I joined Taekwondo. Went through the time I was in karate and fighting 6-year-olds and getting punched in the face by a girl who was not supposed to do it. It was against the rules. He explicitly said, do not punch people in the face. She did it anyway, and I could tell she was smirking at me afterwards. And then going to the man's karate dojo, which was actually Taekwondo, for his adult class, which was actually just an everyone come class, and you could be in a parade, all those things, and also Tai Chi, like being a dummy trying to learn Tai Chi from a book and then actually becoming certified and learning more about it and learning more about the history of it and the background info on it. So all that stuff led me to Muay Thai, and it has all been my process of becoming a diamond. No straight line. That has never been my life. It is all crooked lines, different circles of me trying to get to where I am today. But I don't know, I guess I wouldn't have it any other way because there is no other way to have it. It's my life. So yeah, that is my background experience with martial arts and how it has led me to Muay Thai. And I might mention more things about it going forward. Maybe not. Probably more Tai Chi, because I still do it. Tai Chi and Qigong now, since I still do it, and it still does affect the way I do Muay Thai and complements that. So yeah, that is this episode. Again, I thank anybody who listens to this for listening. And, I hope that I can reach at least one person. If I gave you a laugh today, or you're just like, what the fuck is this woman talking about? Guess what? I don't really know all the time. But hey, that's just me. I am on and off. So yeah, so thank you guys for listening. And I hope to talk to you guys soon with more content. Take care.